welcome to the Shelly Studio. Today I'm doing some gel printing. I'm actually going to do a long haul. So this is kind of a longer video. I do have it way sped up, but it is a longer video. Now, the stencil I'm using is called Feathery Eye Clusters by PM Artist Studio. I'll put a link to their site in the description box below in case you're interested. They have a lot of fun stencils. This one I bought quite a while ago, actually, I think, and hadn't used it yet. So I thought it would be good to do a long haul. And what you do is you put the stencil down on the gel plate before putting any paint, and it helps it stay there. And then you pull prints with different colors. Normally, you do like dark to lights and back and forth, and then heavy body, and then more fluidy, alternating kind of to the fluid ones help lift stuff off the stencil that's already down there. That's what makes the print so interesting. I was not having that good of luck getting something really interesting on these prints, but I limited myself to like Valentine colors. So I've got reds, multiple types of red, some orange or tending to the orange, some pink. I decided to throw in a couple of purple, and then I have black and a white and gray. That and it's a mixture of Liquitex, golden, and craft paint. Just because I want to use up my craft paint. I have quite a bit of it. Haven't bought any for a really long time, but I still have ones that aren't even open yet. Ooh, I like how the black one, I can't remember if the first print of the black one turns out or if it's the second print. But after I pull the prints and before I create what I'm going to create with them, I saw a little character in the pattern, and I've been watching Star Wars. So my I have a niece that's really into Star Wars. She talks to me about it all the time. I used to be really into Star Wars. I still like Star Wars. I mean, I have books like fan fiction like crazy that I've read. You know, I read when I was younger. And I didn't have Disney Plus, so I couldn't watch all the extra Star Wars shows that are out there because there's a lot. So I decided I was going to watch it chronologically from the beginning. I'm in the middle of the Clone Wars. And that black one, there is a Star Wars alien in this stencil. I didn't notice it until after I created what I'm going to create with them. But I think I'm going to try and make a card with the alien. So emphasizing it so you can tell it's an alien on the card. So when I do that, I haven't done it yet. So when I do that, I will post that on Instagram. So if you want to see it, that's where it will be. If you are in Makers of Mixed Media Art and Artists, I will also post it there because this is their stencil. And the Makers of Mixed Media Art and Artists is a Facebook group hosted by PM Artist Studio, Patricia and Mariah. So if you follow them and you follow them on Facebook, you know, I'll post it there too because it's their stencil. So it'd be kind of fun if they turned it into a stamp, maybe. Anyway, if you're tired of, watching me pull prints that are kind of hard to see, I do have a slideshow at the end of all of my prints. I counted, but now I can't remember how many I did. I'm thinking maybe 30 or close to that, 20 to 30. So yeah, this is a long haul. I don't know what makes it a medium haul as opposed to a long haul, like what the number is. After I do the prints, there's a lot of them that I'm not enjoying. So I actually do some glazes. I show a few at the end before the slideshow of what I do to enhance the color. So I do some glazes and then I do some. So these are printed on wet strength tissue. Most of them, some of them are on paper. But some of them I paint the back so the color bleeds through to the front, which without covering up the original paint. Like there's some that I think they're orange prints. They were orange pulls, and I added a color behind that I think just turned out really cool. As I'm looking at my stack to see if I can remember which ones. I've cut up a few, so I'm not sure if they're there, but yeah, I know this is kind of long. How is everybody today? Hope you're doing well. I'm still not 100% better. This is going on into my 3rd week of being sick. I don't feel bad anymore, but I still have fluid in my lungs, and I'm still coughing that out. So I don't sound normal. So speaking of coughing, I just had to, just because I said so. This one is virgin. It's red iron oxide. It's more grunge. It's more kind of what I like, but I was trying to do the reds and oranges, but it had red in the name, and it's kind of a reddish orange color, so I did it. It's not a happy orange, not a happy color, but I really like that kind of thing. My favorite is quinacridone nickel azo gold, but I did not include that one. Oh yes, and I added some fluorescent. I have I think it's golden fluorescent high flow. That's a high flow one there. Really runny on that one. Thought we needed to brighten things up a bit. I had to stop and cough and take a drink. I'm not used to talking, apparently. I work from home. I work in an office. I email and text, so I don't do a lot of talking during the day. I liked that pink one. That one had some cool stuff happening. But when I first did these, I thought I would make like Valentine cards or Valentine ATCs, just glue these onto another surface and maybe add something. But I'm not really a Valentine's person. Like, I'm single, not dating, don't have any kids. So, I mean, I could give them to my friends and my relatives. But I decided instead, I watched a video and one lady made a love letter to herself. And it was a journal shaped like a heart. Mine is not a love letter to myself, but I did make the journal shaped like a heart, and that will be in the next video. I'll show that process. And I just gathered stuff that I already had that looked Valentine's-like and just put it on there. So it's nothing spectacular, but it was fun to make, and you can see what I did with some of these pages. See, like this one, it's got a lot of white, so I don't remember if I glazed that one or stain it underneath. with some, I have a craft paint that's called watercolor gel. I don't know, it was on clearance. I used it a lot. It's kind of an orangey color. Or a pink color. I think it's an orange one. I used it a lot for the glazing and the painting the back sides because it worked really well. So there's another one. See how you're getting the two different colors even though I just put one color down? That's when it's lifting off of the stencil because that paint is built up on that stencil, and when you put more paint down, usually when you put a more fluid paint down, you get lifting of the other colors, which is what makes long hauls so much fun to do. It's fun to see what's going to happen. And yeah, I can't remember the size of this gel plate, but it's bigger, and I don't have like a piece of paper that covers the whole thing, so I just layer 3 deli papers on there to lift the paint around the edges and to keep my hands a little cleaner. Though I think I do end up with paint all over anyway. It just happens. And that one was kind of a peach color, I think is what it said it was. So I figured that fell into the right category. And I do like the contrast of the lighter colors and the darker colors. That's when things get interesting, I think. It didn't lift a lot, but see the different colors? I like that. And some of my paint, especially the craft paint. Now that one, I don't know why that one's not that old. They get solid bits inside, so you'll see me sticking my finger in there and pulling out bits that looked solid. So I think that's why I get really painty. And those deli papers, they get a little interesting. They could make some fun collage. They have lots of layers of orange and pink and a little purple and a little black. Oops, that fell down a little crooked. And I would list the different colors, but I honestly just grab, that one's cadmium red hue. I can just read the bottle. I honestly don't remember. I just went through my entire stash and pulled out anything that looked red or orange, pink, purple. Actually, only pulled out a couple purple. I wanted to stay more into the red. This one was done on regular paper. And I worry too, because if you leave the paper on too long, it will glue itself to your stencil. And you can see there the white areas. That's actually paper that has stuck to the stencil. When I use regular paper, and if I leave it on there too long, sorry about that one cut out, but you'll see the print at the end. Yeah, it can stick, and then you have to, take water to your stencil to get it off. I did not clean off my stencil afterwards. It's still coated in paint. I figured I wouldn't worry about it until those little spaces start to fill up, and they look okay. So this one is one. It wouldn't come through the hole, but there's a lot of paint in there. So I'm checking for globs and pulled out a glob. I guess I've had that one a while. Well, most of my craft paint, the cheap craft paint, I have had for a while. I'm watching this back. I'm like, come on, move a little faster. But I have sped it up quite a bit. Like I use iMovie on my iPad to do the editing, and I have to speed it up, save it, then upload it again, speed it up. So that's, I'd have to save it again and upload it again and speed it up to make it any faster. Not that you need to know the technical. I'm just talking because every time I use music, I get a copyright strike, so no music. I could sing my own song. No, you don't want to hear me sing. I mean, when my voice is good, is okay, it's not too horrible, but not like this. I like that pink color. That might have been quinacridone magenta. And to brayer off, I'm just brayering off on a magazine, like a brochure. I get a lot of travel brochures in the mail, so I use them to glue on. I use them for brayering off. They come in handy that way. I used to just chuck them straight in the garbage. I still chuck about 50% straight in the garbage. I mean, you can only keep so much. That has potential. That one has potential. It's got a lot of empty space on there, but the pink parts that came off were really pretty. Now this is a high flow black. This is Carbon Black by Golden in a high flow. I think I'm hoping that it will be more interesting when I pull it off. Excuse me. Sorry about that. I tried to turn my head away, but that was probably bad anyway. A little bit of pink came up, but not a ton. I was hoping for more. So now I'm going back in with some craft paint that's runny and has some solid bits. I'm probably wiping my hands off. Sorry, there's a pause there. I keep thinking someday I will have a better situation. I am on a new table. Instead of the little TV tray, I do have like a desk. It's not a very big one, but everything is stacked to the side rather than on the desk. There's not enough space for that. So I have to reach over and get the paper, or reach over and get that deli paper. So that takes a second to, so there's a little bit of a delay in between. I like that color too. And I didn't notice which paint tube that came out of. There's a few colors I use more than once, but really not many. I think this one I wanted to make sure I got some good lift. There we go. It's a red. I was thinking it looked pinkish, but it is a red. Okay, so here I am lifting off the stencil, and this is what's left behind. This is why you do it. No, and I wait for it to dry completely and come back. Although, this one didn't make me as happy as I was hoping. I did a little peach and then some white. I wasn't sure what color I should go with. And maybe I should have gone for something altogether different. I don't know. But I was thinking this would show what's going to pull up the best. You know, have a bit of contrast. So I do leave that. I put the book on there because I'm using regular paper. And you can see there's a wrinkle there. That happens if you put a little too much paint on. That happens. And I let it dry completely again. And here's the final pull. It's interesting. And there's all my prints. Okay, so I only show a couple of these. But I had a few pieces of paper. Well, I do this to most, not this exact thing, but most of my papers get painted on the backside or a glaze over the top. This one gets a little bit more than that. Oh, this one, there was like an impression. I don't know. Anyway, I like it. It's very subtle, though. Very, very subtle. Can't remember if I was pulling off what was left on the plate or if I was glazing what was underneath. I think I might have been pulling what was on the plate. I don't know. So this one I'm going to do, and this is the watercolor gel stuff. It is quite transparent, even though it doesn't look very transparent right there. I'm making sure it's really thin, and I'm just going to put this down. This is regular paper, so it wouldn't work to do the underside of it. But I did this to several, hoping they would enhance the prints, and I think they do. That one was a little iffy to begin with. So like this one is wet strength tissue, and it's red, and so I'm just going to take that. And I do other colors. You'll see them. You'll be able to tell, I think, in the slideshow, which is coming up after this one. But this one, I just coated the backside. And then I'll lift it up and you can see. It's kind of messy. Isn't that so much better? That just improved it like 100%. All right, so here they are. Some of these are close-ups because I've used part of the paper, so there's not a lot left of them. And then some are back further because they're more of the paper. Hope that makes sense. But yeah, some fun papers, I think. A heck of a lot of pink and red. Oh, see that one? That was the alien. Well, the print that made the alien. Anyway, like I said, there's a lot of them. Did you like them? Did you like this video? Was it too long? Too boring? Or just right? Or, you know, you could have turned the volume off and not listened to me. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, hit the like button. If you have any questions or, you know, I'd love to hear any kind of comments you have. You can do that down below. And like I said, I will have a link to PM Artist Studio where you can buy stencils and stamps from them. In the description box below. I hope you enjoyed this video and my little slideshow here at the end. Told you there was a lot of prints. You saw me do a lot. There's still a lot more to come. That one's kind of boring. But just let you enjoy the slideshow. Thank you all for watching and sticking with me to the end if you did. And if you're just watching the end for the pictures, I'm okay with that too. I hope you have a superb day, and I hope you have good weather. It's supposed to be freezing cold here. The last print, I think at the end, will be the final pull, so you can see that one. But I'll sign off. See you in the comments.